Hey everybody, it's Jacqueline, welcome. I wanted to do a Facebook Live with you today because just this past weekend we were on the neighborhood house tour for our new office building. If you don't know, we recently purchased a building in a historic town called Salem, New Jersey, and our building was built in 1821 and it was on the Underground Railroad. It's in the National Historic Registry for being on the Underground Railroad. And it's called the Goodwin Sisters House. It was built and owned by Abigail and Elizabeth Goodwin, who were staunch abolitionists in the early to mid 1800s. So today I just wanted to take a chance to show you all of the decorations that we did. We spent a long time getting the place ready, and we had a lot of people come through on Saturday. It was a lot of fun. We really got to meet a lot of local people. So I'll just show you a little bit of what we did. So this is the front hall, as you can tell. And as I mentioned, this part of the home was built in 1821. This is my Stars and Holly quilts, and this I did a few years ago. It's applique, obviously a Christmas design, and we actually do have a couple of these kits left on the website. If you're interested, I will add the link. So if you just come in here a little bit, what we did a lot of with our decorating is I concentrated a lot on kind of glitter and sparkly things this year. So you can see I've got a little touch of glitter here, touch of glitter in the mirror, and then we also have a lot of natural arrangements. And the only thing I purchased for all these arrangements was the roses, which I just got an inexpensive bouquet of red roses at the grocery store. And everything else is just green things out of the yard that we found. So it took a couple of hours to do a whole lot of arrangements for the entire building, and came out really, really pretty, I think. It's really kind of an elegant look. And again, it's inexpensive. All it takes is a little bit of time. You can put things in a vase, you can put them in a container with some of that Oasis sponge. They will stay fresh for a couple of weeks. I do this every single year. I love decorating with the natural things out of the yard. So next we will leave the hallway and we're gonna go into the next room. And we've got our mistletoe here. So give my Alfie a little kiss on the mistletoe. So this is the front room, again in the original part of the house. We set up a little desk here where we had some information about the history of the home and the Underground Railroad. So if anybody was interested in learning more about the history, we had a little bit of history here on the table. This is one of the Goodwin sisters. I'm sorry, I don't remember if it was Abigail or Elizabeth. That is her picture. And then here we have our main tree, which is our big tree. This is a live tree. Our family tradition is every year on the day after Thanksgiving, we go to the Christmas tree farm and we pick out and cut down our Christmas tree. So this year we just got two. We got one here for the office and we got one for at home. And what's really interesting is this is a really big tree. When we went into the field, all of the trees this year were gigantic. And they told us it was because we have had such a wet season that all of the trees just got really big. So we actually cut probably a foot off of the bottom of this tree to fit it in. And the same thing with our tree at home. So we were a little bit worried about the size of this tree, but as it turned out, I think it fills in this room really nicely. And again, we just concentrated on the sparkle. It's just gold and silver and white. It's really elegant, white lights, really elegant, really pretty. So on the mantle here, and we also recently, after we moved into this building, the first thing we did was we had this downstairs painted. So I chose this pretty peacock blue for two of the mantles, and I really like it. Again, we did a lot of the silver and more of these fresh arrangements just out of the garden outside. I'm gonna put Alfie down here. We have one of our little miniature trees, which is just full of battery operated lights, which is another really great decorating tip. Just go to the store and get a whole bunch of those battery operated lights. They're not very expensive, and you can have a little twinkle and sparkle just about anywhere in your home. We did the same thing down here. This is a non-working fireplace, so we decorated it with some greenery and some sparkle, and actually I forgot to turn them on, but we also have some of those little battery operated lights woven into that arrangement. So that's another decorating idea for you. If you have a fireplace that you don't use, just fill it with some greenery and some silvery things and some battery operated lights, and it becomes a really, really pretty focal point for your holiday decorations. So we're going to go into the next room. You're also going to notice a lot of quilts here in the house. All of the quilts that you see, except for one, which is an antique quilt, were made either by me or by my friend Danny, who is also a quilter. So I think people really enjoyed seeing all the quilts in the house on Saturday too on the house tour. But this tree is really special. You will notice that all of the ornaments are handmade and they're all different. So for this tree, for the Art of Home Club, which is our membership site, we asked people to send in handmade ornaments to hang on our tree. So we have ornaments from all around the world on this tree, and they're all really different and unique. There's all different kinds of techniques here. We've got embroidery. Somebody actually took a photo of Alfie, my little Chihuahua, and put him on an ornament, which I love. He's of course front and center on our tree. Here's some machine applique, and she added some little sequins for sparkle. We've got wool felt. We've got a Dresden here. We've got the, I forget what we call this, but it's like a paper folding technique here, or not paper, fabric folding. So just lots and lots of different ornaments. It's so pretty. And then another thing we're doing is actually everyone from the club, if they wanted to, sent in 2 ornaments, one for the tree, and then we're doing a swap with the other. So next week, everybody who sent in their ornaments is going to receive back a swap ornament from somebody else in the club. So that was a really fun activity that we did for the first time this year, and everybody really had fun and loved it, and so we'll definitely be doing that again next year, I think. And speaking of the club, we only open it up a couple of times per year. And next week, we will be opening up the club to new members. So I've included a link in the description. If you are at all interested in finding out more about the club, getting on our waiting list, just click on that link and you can find out more, get on the waiting list, and you will find out all about it when we open next week. So again, here's another one of my blue mantles. I mentioned that I did 2 blue mantles. So just did some different sparkly things here. More of these arrangements. This one I did in, this is some hand-painted pottery. I collect Eldrith Pottery, which is a pottery company in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. And so this is a piece that I collected a few years ago. And we've got our very appropriate wooden quilt block, which isn't a Christmas decoration. It's something that we have up all year. But you can see once we add all of the Christmas greenery and decorations, it totally fits in with our Christmas scheme and gives a really nice kind of a handmade look to our mantle. So here, this is the antique quilt that we were talking about. This quilt is from 1890. It features a miniature Lone Star block and a double pyramid block. And this is actually a piece that I've had hanging in my home for several years, and we thought it would look really great on this wall. So we brought it here. And the original plan was for it to go back to my house after the house tour, and now we kind of like it here so much that I'm not sure. This might have a permanent home here in the office, and maybe we'll find something else for home. So we have a vintage sewing machine over here, also from our house, which we brought over. A quilt that I made called Oh Holy Night with some little critters on it, and another one of our trees, a little miniature tree. And this, again, we've kind of concentrated just on the white and the silver and the white lights for this. And for the tree skirt, this is actually just a scrap of fabric out of my stash that was the right color. And so we just kind of wrapped it around the base of the tree and made a really simple tree skirt out of that. So we're gonna go into our final room for today. And Alfie has found himself a really nice sunny spot. He loves his sunny spots. So this room would have been a kitchen at one point, and then it was converted into a dining room, and we're going to be using it for workspace. We've got this really awesome workbench, which I bought at a local antique shop, and this was actually just, I think, a woodworking bench, probably about 100 years old, and it works really well in this space. So for the house tour the other day, we just kind of set up a little store to kind of show people things that we have, like our fabric bundles, kits, note cards, We're going to be starting some classes in 2019. So we've got some samples here of some of the projects that we might be working on. And let's see, this is our third mantle that you're going to see today. And I really like, if you can see the carving in the mantle. And there's like a really nice carved detail in here, which is really pretty. And this, we decided to paint this really nice charcoal color, which I really like. So for this, you can see this little piece is, again, something that we had at home. And I have to tell you, my house right now is completely empty. The mantle is empty, the walls are empty, because we just kind of like emptied the house and brought all of our stuff down here to the office. And so now I have to decide which things are going to stay here and which things are going to go back home. But this is just something that I picked up at a craft fair a few years ago, and it's an old, very threadbare quilt. I mean, you can see it was falling apart, and somebody decided it couldn't really be repaired, I'm assuming, because it was in such bad shape. So they just cut some of the blocks apart and put them into this old window frame, and it's really a cute look. So that's another decorating idea for you. As far as the other decorations on the mantle, again, lots of silver, mercury glass, milk glass. We've gone with a lot of silver and red. So that's a really nice color combination with the white and the silver and the red against the charcoal gray, if you're looking for more decorating ideas. So this tree, this was actually an idea that my daughter got. She was looking at Pioneer Woman magazine, and she saw this tree that was decorated with silk flowers, and she wanted to give it a try. And so I said, okay, let's try it. So she and my other daughter, we went to Hobby Lobby. We just got some silk flowers in red and white and some silver ribbon, and they just decided to, take a shot at making a tree like they saw in the magazine, and this came out really pretty. We have never done anything like this before in our house, and we're really happy with the way this came out. So this is a really different kind of an idea. So if you've got like this is just one of those little pencil trees. It's kind of tall and skinny. It's great in a corner. So if you're looking for something new to try as far as your decorating, this might be something that you want to try. So we have more of our greenery arrangements here on the table. Again, so simple, really inexpensive. I use these containers year after year. I even use the Oasis sponge year after year, and they stay fresh for a long time. And you just go into the yard, and all of this was from our yard. Even this little, like this cedar with the little tiny pine cones on it, that was all from our backyard. We've got some ivy, we've got some boxwood. So that's pretty easy to do. So finally today, what I wanted to show you was my Santa collection. I've been collecting Santas for several years, and this is just an old vintage wooden ironing board, again, from my house. And usually what I do is it's in my, usually in my family room at home, and we just swap out the decorations on top for whatever season. So we brought it down here. We added some of our Santas to decorate it, some quilts that my friend Danny made, and she made the stockings as well. And the quilts that you see on the wall are quilts that I have made. So that's it. I think that's all I have to show you today. I hope you have enjoyed this little tour, and I hope it kind of felt like maybe you were here with us over the weekend when we had our house tour. It was a lot of fun. I'm not sure if we'll do it again next year. Maybe we will. And if we do, we will definitely publicize it. So if you're interested in stopping by on the Yuletide tour, you can come and see our building. So that's it. I hope you're having a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.